Picture this. You work your socks off for over 40 years and decide to retire. You receive your pension payout, and that is probably all you have to get by every month. Then at a click of a button, everything vanishes. Your bank account reads 0. Terrible, isn't it? Yet, this is what some pensioners in Zimbabwe have gone through at the hands of cyber criminals. The growing trend has seen the Public Service Commission issuing a notice warning pensioners and serving government workers to be wary of cyber thieves. Police in the country confirmed handling such cases. But National Police spokesperson Commissioner Paul Nyati could not immediately tell us the exact number of cyber fraud cases they have dealt with so far.
Yes, the Zimbabwe Public Police has received cases where pensioners from the public service, from the private sector, have been victims of duping, victims of fraud, where you find that somebody just sends a message either on WhatsApp or on Facebook and then requesting a person to confirm his banking details or to confirm a certain password. In the process, as the pensioner confirms, then later on he or she realizes that the amount which was in the bank account or the amount which had been deposited by the employer has been withdrawn, has disappeared.
But how does one protect themselves from cyber criminals? Are there any red flags one should watch out for? What are some of the security measures one can put in place?
Not to just give any person who tries to contact them, who tries to solicit information, their passwords or their PIN code, whether for a bank account or for any communication which they have received from their former employers.
Chairperson of the Zimbabwe Confederation of Public Sector Trade Unions, David Dzatsunga, expressed concern at the growing trend. They want it nipped in the bud before more of pensioners and government workers fall victim to such cunning criminals.
All we can do is to report such cases to law enforcement.
Online financial transactions are becoming increasingly popular in Zimbabwe. Many Zimbabweans are adopting to use of mobile wallets and online banking services, mainly due to their convenience. But this has exposed them to criminals. Senior software engineer Abraham Magomo gives us some insightful tidbits on cyber security.
By cyber security, we are talking of the practices, the processes which are implemented to protect and control the infrastructure to detect threats automatically and then implement the mitigation strategies. That is, how can we then do away with the threats? So that's basically cybersecurity.
According to the National Risk Assessment NRA report of 2020, cyber risks, mainly through digital financial channels, contributed to an estimated $900 million of illicit proceedings generated from criminal activity annually in Zimbabwe. To counter cyber attacks and provide better data protection, the government of Zimbabwe passed the Cybersecurity and Data Protection Act. Authorities have also dedicated November as the National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Their clarion message is, think before you click. For ZTN Prime, I'm Gamchiraisa Pazoa in Harare.
Right, now we are now joined by a cyber expert, Monica Gondo, to look into what can be done to curb cybercrime. Good evening, Monica. Now, what are some of the major telltale signs or red flags that signal a scam or scammer?
So the first point that I would say is there is nothing that comes for free. If I get a phone call which tells me that I have won so much, or I need to do some authentication or verification process on my phone for me to be eligible for this scheme and so forth, they all are frauds. Nobody goes around on WhatsApp platform to say that we are getting so much GB of free data, or there is an OT promotion on OT anniversary, or such and such company has an anniversary and they are giving out free data to everyone, or there is a scheme where you need to then send your details and they will do this for you. So there is nothing that comes for free. All these things, they have a proper channel that they follow to reach out to their customers. So the very first sign that we should know is, if I have not participated in such thing or any of such things, and I'm not expecting anything, there is no way a miracle will happen and I will get a phone call or I will just get something like that.
Right, Monica, now what measures should the public take to ensure that they are safe from online scammers, especially in mobile money transfer platforms?
These days, our banks are very much into the online transactions. They all have their app. These apps, they are usually downloaded from Google Play, which also has a way to verify if the apps are not doing what they are not supposed to do. So let's download any application that we want to download on our phones. Let's have it from Google Play for Android. We have got Apple Store for Apple products. Let's download from there so that we know those are genuine. And there is nothing else added. There is no foreign code added in them, which can then take our information while we are using the phone or computers, and there is a back door opened through those apps and it's being taken.
Okay, Monica, now my last question before I let you go. What measures should service provider put in place to ensure their platforms are secure?
For organizations, I am sure they do need to then have a collective approach towards all these kind of threats that consumer can face, and use mechanisms, use ways of how even they can verify that if there is a transaction happening, it is happening from the right user, from the right device, and not somebody who trying to cheat, pretending to be that client or that consumer. Most banks, they do have a mechanism of OTP, that is one-time password. So if I'm doing an online transaction, they send a code on my phone, and then I have to enter that to verify. Some also have some biometric features they can utilize to authenticate if it's the right person or not.
Konapo, ipapo pa ZTN Prime, DSTV channel 294, the place to be.